it's Rebecca and today is another book review day, and I have been reading The Ministry of Strange, Unusual and Impossible Things by Paul Gamble. So I will read you the blurb and then talk to you about the book. The Ministry of Suits deals with dinosaurs, live ones, werebooks, piratoriums, evil beings with unimaginable powers, and, oh no, the Tooth Fairy, who is over 6 feet tall, carries a pair of pliers and looks ridiculous in a tutu. The Ministry are the only people, strange, unusual and impossible enough to be able to help Jack to rescue his friend David from... It's too gruesome. You'll have to read the book. So I found this at work when I was doing some tidying, and one brilliant thing about the book is it's slightly larger than regular books. So it kind of, as you can see there, it on the shelf, it stuck out a little bit more. So as I was walking along, I kind of pushed it in. I was like, ooh. So very, very clever on the publisher's publishing. The publishing of this book, because the size of it just caught me. The cover caught me. The back caught me with the blurb. And then I opened it up, read the first page, and I started laughing. And I chose this... Well, I was kind of looking for another fantasy book, because the one that I read for the Wordy Birds Reading Challenge I didn't enjoy, and Jane told me off because I hadn't read a proper one that I would get on with, because fantasy spans a huge amount of different topics within itself. So I was looking for a children's fantasy book because she said that's probably something that I could enjoy. And this sounded quite fantasifical. Is that a word? I say that quite a lot. I don't know if it's a word. Let me know. And this book just had me laughing all the way through. It is so, so brilliant. So the main character of this book is Jack, and he goes to school, and I think he's probably about 13 years old, give or take. And his best friend David is a bit weird. He's a bit gangly and ungainly and awkward and all that kind of stuff. And Jack's quite cool. Quite cool. People know who he is. But Jack and David are really good friends. And one day I think they're going to school. They're on the school bus, and the bus has to stop because there is a bear roaming around on the streets. And Jack and David get out of the bus and manage to stop the bear from eating people. And when that's all over, a strange man in a suit comes up to them and starts talking to them, and Jack's intrigued, and he finds out that this man works at the museum. And Jack goes along to the museum and finds a secret entranceway into the back of the museum. And he meets this man, Mr. Grey, I think his name is. Not Christian Grey, just Mr. Grey. And he explains that he works for the Ministry of Suits, which is strange, unusual and impossible things. And they are the people that deal with the things that the police just don't deal with. So they look at things like pirates and dinosaurs and just strange, unusual and impossible things that shouldn't happen but do. And this book is set out absolutely brilliantly. There are footnotes. So it reads like a manual almost. And the footnotes are really, really funny. And it also gives sections of the Ministry of Suits handbook. So it helps you to understand why certain things happen. So you understand why pirates only have one hand and a hook. And you understand how the Tooth Fairy gets your teeth. The contract that the unwritten contract that you have with the Tooth Fairy, which is quite interesting. And why dinosaurs don't appear to exist anymore. And just loads of stuff. It is so, so funny. And so while Jack is talking to Mr. Grey, he finds out that a girl from his school, Moody Trudy, is also part of the Ministry of Suits, and they work together because something really peculiar is happening at school. Strange children, or unusual children, or weird children are going missing. And Jack is very concerned for his friend David, who is very strange and weird. And he wants to find out why they're going missing, how they're going missing, and where they're going. And a new man has come into the school, Mr. Teach, and he has given the children new uniforms. He's bought new carpets for the school. He's bought new buildings, and he's making the school seemingly better. But Jack and Trudy have other ideas. And it's so brilliant. And I think this is the kind of fantasy book that I can enjoy because it's partly set in reality. And I do struggle with the fantasy genre when it is so far removed from things that I recognise and that I understand. And I know fantasy is supposed to be that, and I'm not criticising the genre, I just can't get on with it. But because this was set in reality, it's school children, I understand that. It's horrible teachers, I understand that, especially horrible PE teachers. There's a horrible PE teacher in this. So I understand those things, so my head can get into that mindset. And then it talks about things that I understand as well. Pirates, dinosaurs, tooth fairies, museum exhibits, all this kind of stuff that I do understand. So although there's fantasy involved in it, it is set in reality, and so that's why I got on with this. But like I say, it's so funny, so clever, and there are jokes in it that I don't think children will get, but as reading it as an adult, I got them. So that's another sign of a really good children's book, because children's authors know that parents will be reading these to their children and they need to enjoy it as well. So a book that can span a giant age range is always really, really good. It's fairly long, it's about 300 pages, and as you know, I don't get on really well with long books, but I couldn't put this down. It was very exciting, very readable, just easy to read, easy to get into, and fun, and yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. So read it to find out what all of the strange, unusual and impossible things are, because they really are strange, unusual and impossible, but so funny, so enjoyable. So yes, I would definitely recommend this no matter how old you are. And if you can't get into the fantasy genre like I can't, then this is a little in that will help you. So if you'd like to hear any of my other book reviews, then please subscribe to my channel. I put videos out every time I've read a book, done something bookish, bought books, all the time I do that. So if that's what you're interested in, please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Have a good day.